And for more on Sri Lankan President's visit to India, Jessica joins us live. Well, Jessica, this is President Dissanyake's first bilateral visit to India since he assumed presidency this year. What can we expect when he meets Prime Minister Modi for bilateral talks? So what's on the agenda?
That's correct. And when he meets the Prime Minister, expect the bilateral talks to enhance further trade and connectivity between the two countries. As you recall, Sri Lanka has been an important maritime partner as well, as the report pointed out, very crucial to India's Sagar policy, which is security and growth for all in the region, especially in the Indian Ocean, where India sees about 80% of its oil imports cross from there, an important trade hub as well. So Sri Lanka being an important partner there. Apart from that, with the way things and relationship between the two countries have progressed over the years, expect talks on energy connectivity projects as well later in the day. And also President Anura Dissanayake would also meet with a business delegation at an event due to be held in New Delhi, and after that he goes to Bodh Gaya. So for an important packed schedule for the Sri Lankan president as he makes his maiden visit after being elected as Sri Lanka's president. He gained a thumping majority in the recent parliamentary elections as well. So of course the leaders have a lot to discuss, especially
Okay, Jessica, just hold on with us while we take our viewers live, where a ceremonial reception is being accorded to the Sri Lankan president, who's on a 3-day visit to India since yesterday. Sri Lanka's President Dissanayake arrived on a 3-day visit to India, and this is Dissanyake's first overseas visit since being elected the island nation's president on September 23rd. Sri Lankan President Dissanyake's visit comes with the objective of further strengthening the robust and multifaceted relationship between the two neighboring nations. And the ceremonial reception, held with great diplomatic importance, is an opportunity to highlight the cordial relations between the both countries, between India and Sri Lanka. Well, you were watching live while Sri Lankan President was being accorded a ceremonial reception, a very warm welcome being extended to the visiting President. Indian Prime Minister and President also warmly welcomed President Dissanayake, emphasizing the long-standing friendship between the two countries. Dissanayake also met the various dignitaries, and during his visit, the leaders are expected to engage in discussions that will build on the shared history and cultural ties that bind the nations together, while also advancing the economic and diplomatic goals. He was accompanied by Foreign Minister Vichita Herath and Deputy Minister of Finance Anil Jayanta Fernando. Also, Dissanayake's visit to India is expected to further bolster the multifaceted and mutually beneficial bilateral ties. And now let's go back to Jessica for more on this. Well, Jessica, considering the history of Dissanayake's party and stances on specific issues, how do you think both sides will navigate their ties from this visit onwards?
Well, Aruna, Dissanayake, also known as AKD, is not unfamiliar with the Indian polity, so to say. And as I was, telling earlier as well, that he was here in February and he had met the foreign minister as well as the national security advisor. So he has sort of met with the Indian side before, though not in the official capacity as the president has now been elected. But with that in effect, this is an important visit for the Sri Lankan president, who just got a thumping majority in the recent elections. And as you'd see, the kind of economic downturn and the political turmoil that Sri Lanka has seen over the years, his party was given a massive mandate this time around. So a lot that Anura Dissanayake would look forward to in this trip, particularly also especially on how to take forward the energy connectivity project. One will have to wait on how that, on what the discussions on that would be. But for the moment, of course, seeking investments from the Indian business community would also greatly benefit Sri Lanka at this point, which is looking to improve its economic situation back home. Remember, one of the big bold promises that AKD had promised during his election campaign was the salaries that were halved, the situation on ground that had reduced people to massive poverty. You'd recall just about a year or two ago, people were lining up outside petrol stations for 12 hours to get fuel, to get other basic supplies. Those things somehow have changed, but Sri Lanka is still not out of the woods, and it's, its debt is almost 100% of its GDP. So still a long way to go for Sri Lanka, and also especially when it comes to its IMF bailout package and its possible default if it doesn't repay that debt by the year 2028. So it would need India's assistance. And let's not forget, just about 2 months ago, India had extended Sri Lanka's debt repayment of roughly around $1.75 billion, providing much relief to the country at that point in time. And perhaps AKD or Aruna Dissanayake making his maiden visit, his first visit after being elected to India, is certainly significant,
right,
and goes on to show that India will always be an important partner, and India in return does not shy away from the fact that neighborhood first policy is still very close to its heart and will continue to be
right,
so in the coming future.
India is, of course, a very important partner to Sri Lanka. Thank you so much, Jessica, for all those details.